What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, back from MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm taking a look at We Live in Time. This is A24. It was submitted for my consideration. I actually did watch it one time already without audio description because my screener did not have audio description. And I was up against a deadline for a voting body. I have so many reviews piled up. I don't even know when you're gonna get this review, but I have so many reviews piled up that I actually hadn't released my We Live in Time review yet. So I had an opportunity to watch it again with audio description. So I've now seen this movie twice, but this is my first review of it. So I'm not considering this my second look, but I am a little bit more well informed on the plot of the movie at this point. I think audio description is really important, especially for me as a blind film critic, to get the accessibility that I need, because I will tell you that my grade went up. So a lot of times if you see my review and I drop something that has a floating grade because it didn't have, it does mean I'm guessing of where I would take it. And I know I gave this film in my original review, which you will never see, and the grade went up. With audio description, I was able to appreciate and understand the movie more. I had a better understanding for it. I enjoyed the richness of the characters more with audio description. This is a film that begs to have audio description because it's constantly shifting in time. It's all over the place. It's sort of interesting how this film weaves through time so expertly in what seems like it could be very clunky, because you're like, what is the narrative? Here, for example, with Robert Zemeckis, it was trying to do sort of like a similar thing, but it felt too like it felt like it was fighting its format, the whole like camera single location type thing. And it didn't end up quite working out for me. But this one, even though it narratively jumps all over the place with different places in the relationship between Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield, you end up at the end of the day with this story that feels like it's their story. It's just like two people were sitting down and telling you like, oh, well, we're doing this thing. Oh, but first we gotta go back. We gotta tell you about this. And then they go like off on a tangent and like, oh, remember that one time? And then like they're telling you like the weird, like the world's like longest story, sort of. But when they're finally done, when your friends finally stop talking to you, you're just like, wow, that was a great story. Because that's kind of how I felt like when I was done with We Live in Time, is even though you're jumping all over, even though there is not really a cohesive linear thread in terms of the storytelling, other than this is the relationship of two people over time. Like, you don't even see them meeting at the beginning. You see like different stages of their relationship. Like, they're either further along or back, or sometimes they have the kid, sometimes it's before the kid. So it jumps all over the place, and it's a beautiful movie, and I've really come to appreciate it a lot more. Based off of my first film, I was first watching, I voted for Florence Pugh in Best Actress because I thought she did a great job, and she fucking kills it the second time around. This is one of those performances that we're just not talking about enough. But I'm tired of people not talking about Florence Pugh. I keep seeing her in things, and people are just like, nah. I hate when that happens. I hate when we jump on like certain people and we're like, oh, these people. It's like, is that even remotely their best performance? Like, is that even close? Or, whereas I think Florence Pugh, this might be one of my favorite performances of hers. And I felt like she did some really strong work in Zach Braff's A Good Person, but people just ignored the movie without being able to look objectively at what she was doing in it and being like, wow, she is really good in this movie. And I wish I wish more people were able to do that and go, movie not great, actress great. Movie fine, she good. We speak like cavemen. Yeah, I thought she's fantastic. She has a speech in here, um, later on, between her and Garfield that just absolutely just it just rips your heart out, man. I don't know what else to say. It's like if you've heard it, you know what I'm talking about. Um, throughout her journey, the movie loosely is this couple, they get together. He's getting out of a divorce and she accidentally hits him. This is totally out of linear form. Like, this is not the first thing that happens in the movie. This is just context into their relationship. She hits him with her car and they fall in love, and it shows the progression of their relationship, to the point where she has a cancer diagnosis. And from there, things just sort of, they don't like immediately, like you hear cancer diagnosis and you're like, oh God. Well, it's they talk about whether or not, her options are like hysterectomy, partial hysterectomy, freezing eggs, and like all that kind of things, because they haven't had a kid yet. And she's like, I think she hadn't really thought about being a mom. She's a chef, and she's sort of like focused on being a chef, just like a really great chef, like that controls her life. And she hadn't really given it a thought. And it's funny when you're faced with that, uh, you know, this is what choice do you make? And so then you see them, of course, with, her being pregnant. And then, of course, there are scenes with this little girl, and everything just comes together. But then also these choices lead to the fact that she always knew that by leaving part of it in there led to the chance that it could reoccur, which it does. And so that sort of is the progression. And, what do they do now? And she's about making sure she has the best use of her time. That's where she's like, you know, it's all about time. Everything in this movie is about how you spend your time and the moments that you create. And that's kind of what's beautiful about it. And there's this one conversation that she has with Garfield, because she has decided to enter this competition, and she delivers, he comes at her, and she delivers, like, he comes at her with what you think is like, like, oh man, he's emotionally charged. And she just knocks, floors her such good writing, and Florence delivers it with such it's one of the standout moments in film this year for me. It's like the thing, like, I had chills. Her scene for me in this was enough for me to put her in the 5 with all the actresses that we have. It's that good. I just needed one scene, and I'm like, man, if we could get people to see We Live in Time and just get them to this part of the movie, she'd be everywhere. I think a lot of people are just like, nah, that's not enough people. I don't need to prioritize that and put that on my list. And it's like, she's really fucking good. I mean, people thought, like, Isabella Rossellini is making it in supporting actress race with like almost no screen time. It's like, this, if you can get Isabella in there, like, you can listen to Florence Pugh's little monologue here and then decide whether or not, you think. Try to deny her after that. Um, so, yeah, absolutely heartbreaking. Actually got better on the second watch, especially because of the audio description. So my grade went up. This is why you should give me audio description studios, is because sometimes my opinion will actually go up. Quite a bit, actually. I'm not even gonna tell you what my original grade for this movie was, but I fell in love with this movie, and I'm captivated by it. I think it's one of the best movies of the year, and I think it's a movie nobody's talking about. So I went from being like, oh, this is nice, I'm trying to pick up on what this movie's putting down, and give it a floating grade. Nah, it's not really, it wasn't really reflective of that at all. So I think Andrew Garfield also here is really strong. It's just, he just doesn't have that moment. They didn't write him that. They tried to, but then Florence took it from him. Florence just came in and snatched it. She was like, no, you don't get to be sad. So yeah, it's a great movie, and I really hope you watch it. I really hope you check it out. I know we're deep in like award season, and this movie's not going to get nominated, and all that kind of stuff. And fuck it, just watch the damn movie. I'm going to give We Live in Time an A. This became one of my favorite movies of the year after a second watch. So, um, yep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.